Hello everyone and welcome back to a new Minecraft modded episode. Today I have something planned that I am really excited for because I have planned to do some stuff with storage. Now, don't click away just yet. I know storage sounds really boring, but with some of these mods, mostly refined storage mod, storage is really interesting and you can do all sorts of stuff. So I'm really excited to dive into that. Let's start. Now, what I want to do is, with refined storage, I want to create some machines that will give me a really nice storage. Now, what I need for that is a few things. I will need a controller. You craft it like this, with a lot of quartz enriched iron, which you make like this, and silicone, which is also using quartz. So I'm gonna need a lot of quartz, but that will be okay. And an advanced processor. Now, this is also not that hard to get. Some silicone, diamond, redstone dust, and this. So I think what I'm going to do is just make some of that. And let's make some components. Stuff that I'm going to need as well are stuff like discs, storage discs, and let's just get myself the materials because material gathering is a bit boring, I guess. So I'll be back when I have everything to craft, everything. Then let's get started with this mod. Okay, so now that I've gotten myself everything, I've gotten myself a few kinds of processors, all kinds of weird stuff. It is time to start crafting. I am going to need one controller, one disk drive, and one grid for now. And if I'm correct, this should start off the basics. I'm going to need a few more things later, but I want to show that more than just cutting to the next part. So I'm gonna make a little place here. And now I think I can put this down, and I think making this look better is a really good job for future Stacky. Let's just put this down because I want to know if this works. If I'm right, if I place the controller, it has no power. If I place the disk drive here and the grid here, this should now work. But it has no power. And this needs power. It needs real electricity. So what I'm going to need for that is something called Pitiful Generator, and what this will do is it will basically, there are lots of ways to make power, generate power, but this will use any fuel source, and of course because we have a lot of blaze rods, it will use any fuel source to generate power. So this shouldn't be that hard to make. Yes, a pitiful generator. Let's move down and see if this works. Go over here, put it on top, and blaze rods. Put in blaze rods. Yes, this is generating power. Look at that. You can see it slowly filling up with power. This is really, really cool. Okay, so now what I can do is, this thing is the grid. This grid is basically the point where I access my storage. So what I can do is I can put all kinds of stuff in here, but I cannot do that yet because there's no storage free. What I need to make free storage is I need disk drives, and I can make some of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to make a 1000 storage part like this. This disk, if I put it in here, if I'm correct, if everything has worked, yes, look at that. I have myself a really cool storage place. Now, this does go really quickly. As you can see, this is already a third of the items I can store. So, what I'm going to do to take care of that is, firstly, I'm going to, I think, maybe make a 4K storage disk. 4000 items that would be really nice. And secondly, there's something else I'm going to do. So let me just go up here and I'm going to show you guys what this is. This is really cool. What I'm going to need for this is an external storage cable Now what I can do is if I place down this drawer and I use this external storage cable and I plug it into, I don't know if it has to be into the grid or the controller. I think it has to be plugged into the controller. Once I do that, what you can see is, by the way, a drawer is something that can hold up to 32 whole stacks of items, but it can only hold one item, so I can't put any birch planks in it, but 32 stacks of the item that you chose. What I can do is I can go inside of this, and as you can see, it has 165 stone in here. But when I go into controller, you can also see the 165 stone shows up here as well. So, and it doesn't add to the storage disk because, as you can see, the storage disk is completely empty, yet there is 165 stone I can just take from here. Because these are cables, I can just go under the ground and place cables and make a whole city of birch drawers. No, I can make a lot of birch drawers, and with those drawers I can store a lot of items and all access them from this one point. That is really, really awesome. So something really cool that we can do is, as you can see, I have made a little room downstairs here, and I have only put down the grid right here. And when we go down, you can see I have connected everything else that needs to be connected with these cables here. So the cool thing about that is that it just looks like there's one block, and it contains, right now it can contain 1,000 items, but it will be able to contain so much more. Now what I want to do now is a 4K storage disk so I can get started with better, make this room look a bit better, and maybe create some more birch drawers with these external storages. But before we do that, there is one final thing I want to do to improve this thing other than just making it better in how much it can store. Because when I pick up this grid and I can search for grid, you can see that there are a few types of grids. Pattern grids, crafting grids, flip grids, and normal grids. And what I want to do is I want to turn this normal grid into a crafting grid, and that isn't that expensive. It only uses this thing which costs 1 diamond. I have made 5 of these, so this should be really easy. I'm going to need a crafting table for that. Don't mind me taking this. Upgrading your grid. I can do this. It is just everything that it was, but now I can do stuff like use this thing, and when I see something like I want to make myself stone bricks, go in here, see how I can make stone bricks, and click this, and it automatically moves the items from the storage, from every storage that I have that is hooked up to this, to the crafting grid. So that is something that is going to come in really handy. And this crafting grid, it doesn't have numbers. What I mean by that is if I take this, I can take unlimited, and you can just see over here the stone is depleting, but this is just something that is going to improve this thing a lot. And this is a 4K storage disk. Nice. And if we put that over here, because we also have a 1K storage disk, this should, yes, it gives me 5,000 items. Would you look at that? I have gotten myself a fully functional storage system in just one block, or at least in something that seems like just one block. Of course, when we use this elevator, this disguised elevator over here, you can see that it is a bit more than one block, but even for about 15 blocks, this is a lot of storage. Because I've also made 2 more 4K disks, we have gotten ourselves 9K storage and a lot more storage for stone and dirt and all kinds of stuff I will want bulk of. Now, one final thing, I promise this is the final thing to do with the storage thing over here. One final thing I want to do is create a wireless crafting grid. It is one of these grids, crafting grids, but wireless. Create the wireless crafting grid. And look at that, I have now gotten myself a wireless crafting grid. But, as of now, it doesn't work. And why does it not work? That's because it needs power. So, what I'm going to need for that is to make a charging station. And as you can see here, this is how you make a charging station. It isn't that expensive, except for the treated wood planks. And how do I make treated wood planks? What I'm going to need is to make a kind of oven that is a bit bigger than normal ovens. When I make a nice little area over here and I place this in a 3x3, you can see what happens is nothing happens yet, but when I right click this with an engineer's hammer, look at that, a coke oven has now been made. And all I have to do now, all I have to do is put this coal in here and it will start smelting. It will start turning itself into coke and slowly it will generate some oil with that one bucket. So I can put my bucket here and I get back a bucket of creosote oil and put the bucket of creosote oil in the middle. Yes, I am getting myself some treated wood planks. And now what I can finally do is I can make this charging station like that. And if I am right, I hope this gives energy to the thing over here. No. If this gives off energy, I can test it. It looks like it is charged. If I walk across it, it did give me some damage. So let's just see if this wireless crafting grid will charge now. Look like it is doing something now. And oh yes, the thing is already in there, the wireless crafting grid. So if I'm right, let me take this out again. Where do I place this? On the side of this, and then wireless transmitter, 16 blocks. Only 16 blocks? Okay, so it works. So let me just make a range upgrade real quick. Wait, how do you make one of these upgrades? Yeah, okay, so that's quite easy to make. But now, yes, 24 blocks. This is better, at least. Okay, let's try this. Put in another range upgrade. Oh, that's not the range upgrade. Yes, look at that. 32 blocks. And if I'm right, I can make even 2 more of these. And then I think it should be 64 blocks or something. Okay, so now that I've added these 2 more range upgrades, now it has 4 range upgrades and a range of 48 blocks. I think this is a real nice place to wrap up the episode. We have done, well, only this, but it has been so productive. I have so much storage now, and I can just put everything I own in there. And it is so nice that even when I go up here with the 48 block range, I can still do this. So that's super cool. Oh, and it looks like the wood farm is overloading. Anyway, I'll just say that's been that. Take care, and I'll see you around.